welcome back to Let's Make a Movie Part 2, the Digital Den mini class series, teaching you all the basics of the Adobe Premiere video editing software. Last video, we learned about all of the tools on the timeline. So if you are watching this one and you have not watched the first one, I highly recommend you go back and you watch the first one to learn about the basic tools. Today, we will be learning how to make some basic edits using a couple of those tools, not all of them, just so that we can keep things as simply as possible. We will also be learning how to manage your audio on individual clips as well. Okay, so we are going to be continuing to use this movie Spiral Drive, which is a found footage horror movie that is rated R, by the way. But if you would like to watch it, I highly recommend you head over to YouTube, type in Spiral Drive. Big thanks to Eric Fitzpatrick for allowing us to be able to use this movie. But if an R-rated horror movie is a little too scary for you, not to worry. Today, we're going to be making this horror movie less scary using some fun edits here on Adobe Premiere. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab this clip that needs to be edited and drag it over here to the timeline for us. Okay, so by dragging it over to the timeline, we can go ahead and get started making our edits. As you can see, it has moved the video clip here onto the timeline, and it will show us what is going on the at each individual moment up on the preview screen at the top. Okay. So just to give you an idea, if you have not seen the movie, of what goes on here in this very first scene, we have got somebody that is running around in the woods at night. They see a very spooky monster and they try to run away. So this is them seeing the spooky monster. They try to run away. The spooky monster gets closer. They try to fight the spooky monster. The spooky monster then overwhelms them and they go down here, right? So we need to edit this clip to be able to make it so that it is not scary, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add some text just to tell the audience, hey, everything is A-okay, right? So we're going to click on the text tool that is down here in the bottom of the sequence toolbar here, and we are going to drag that on the preview window up top. Whoops, I made a mistake there. Let me refresh that. There we go. And I'm going to type in going for a jog at night. Uh-oh, as you can see here, it looks like the text is a little too big to be able to fit everything that we want on the screen here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all the text by pressing Control A, and then I'm going to come over here to the effect controls here on the top left side of Adobe Premiere. I'm going to click the drop down menu, and I'm going to adjust the size of the text so that everything that I wanted will appear. Now, as you can see, I've already edited the type of text as well as the color, but I'm going to show you how to do that. So you can click on the drop-down menu of the fonts to be able to choose all kinds of different ones, but I've selected Comic Sans because that's a fun font that tells the audience everything's A-okay, right? I've also chosen the color of the text to be a light blue, which is a non-threatening color. And I have gotten a background for my text, also known as a stroke, as in white. So that shows the audience that, you know, this is just a positive sequence. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to center that text to be able to make sure that it is right there at the center of our frame. I'm going to extend the text a little bit by coming back over to the sequence and extending it to about, we'll say about 7 seconds. And then I'm going to press play by pressing the space bar to see how it looks here at the beginning. All right, we've got somebody running around. It says going for a jog at night. Nothing to see here, right? All right, so we're going to keep on watching this until we see that spooky monster for the very first time. And then I'm going to hit the space bar as fast as I can to stop us right there at the beginning of where they see the issue. Uh-oh, there they are right there. So now that I have stopped it right at the beginning of where we see the monster, I'm going to go ahead and press the Alt button on the keyboard and scroll up on the mouse wheel to zoom in on the timeline. And I'm going to make sure that I scrub back to right at the beginning of where that spooky monster makes their appearance. Okay. And I'm going to go one more. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the razor tool, and I'm going to click exactly at that spot on the timeline. And then I'm going to scrub through to be able to get to the end of where we see the monster for the first time, which is right about there. I'm going to click on the razor tool again. And then I'm going to switch back to the selection tool, click on the spot that I have created a beginning and end mark for where that monster is. I'm going to hit the delete button on the keyboard. I'm going to right click on ripple edit. That's going to bring everything back over and snap everything right nicely back into place so that when I hit play once again, it just, yeah, you can barely even tell that I edited anything out, but looks like their monster here makes another appearance. So we are going to need to edit this out as well. So the monster looks like one before this should be pretty good. So we're going to switch back over to the razor tool here. Going to click on that. And the monster never really leaves the scene until just about the end. So I'm going to scroll all the way to the point where I see the guy's arm. There we go. I'm gonna go like right about there. I'd say is pretty good. Use the selection tool once again to delete all of that. And we're gonna use the ripple delete tool once again, just to show or get everything nicely back into place. We're gonna hit play once again. Nothing to see here. A guy running around. Uh-oh, looks like he fell over. Just to reinforce to the audience that everything is a-okay, I'm going to add some more text on the screen, and we're just going to say, taking a nap. Taking a nap. There we go. And we're going to just add a little smiley face there so that everything's a-okay. No horrorness going on here. So we've got, uh-oh, he fell over, but no worries. We're just taking a nap. Everything is totally a-okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop it right there and use the razor tool once again to be able to end our clip right there. And the reason is that the rest of this is the spooky monster, and we want to get rid of all of that. All right, cool. So it looks like we have now edited a nice clip here that is just a guy running through the woods at night, and he decides to take a nap. No biggie, right? No spooky monsters here. Everything is totally normal. All right, so now the last thing that I wanted to go over in this video is that I wanted to show you how to manage your audio. So there's a couple of moments that are a little bit louder than the other moments here. And you can, if you press the space bar and you're playing the clip, over here in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see how loud the different moments get on here. Usually about -6 is the highest moment that you really want to be in. Anything above that, you get into the range where it could start clipping, which is like a bad sound of like a it distorts the audio quality in a bad way once it gets above the 0 mark. That's why I try to make sure that everything's right around somewhere between -12 and -6 for the majority of what I like to edit. But for this, this is somebody that's running around in the middle of the night. So we're seeing the high parts of that get into about the -12 range here, and then they probably go up a little bit higher to about -6, maybe even into about -3 or so once we see the spooky alien, right? Because we don't want any clipping to happen there. So say, for example, that this section right here, and you can see the audio waveform right here, maybe we feel like this is not quite loud enough. So I'm going to click on the clip that I want to edit, and then up here in the top left corner, I'm going to click on the audio clip mixer, okay? And I'm going to click back here on the timeline so that I can get the volume bar to appear. And then I'm going to just increase that just a little bit, maybe up here to about about +4, so that I can increase the volume a little bit. Looks like it has increased the volume without going over -6. So that's pretty good here. And just to show you what happens if you increase the volume too much, I'm going to click on this clip here. I'm going to increase the volume up here as high as it goes. And then what you'll see here is you'll see the red up here up top. That means it's too loud and you need to back off a little bit, right? Because it'll distort the quality of the audio if it's too loud like that. So we're going to bring it down just a little bit. That -4 seemed pretty good. So we will bring it down to about there. not too loud. I'm going to go ahead and increase this to about, I said -4 before, but about +4, so that everything stays about a consistent volume here. Everything, all right. Everything's all good. Cool. So that is some of the basic edits that you can make on Adobe Premiere, and that's going to do it for part 2 of the Let's Make a Movie series. In the next part, we're going to get a little bit more complicated. So we are going to go into the different effects that you can use to be able to elevate your movie to be able to the next level here to make things look a little bit cooler, I guess. So we will be going into a little bit more complexity in the next video. So if you have not watched the first one, you can still go back and watch to be able to learn how to use some of the basic tools on the sequence timeline there. And then we've got 2 more videos coming up after this one. So thanks so much for watching. We will see you next Monday in the next video. Big thanks to Eric for allowing for us to use Spiral Drive. Go watch that video on YouTube. But again, it is rated R. So just be aware of that if you do go and watch it. We'll see you in the next one.